at a board level, just the expectation of the workforce is something that boards are trying to manage. The expectation, because of demographics, but also technology, that things will be much more transparent than a lot of boards are used to, so that the chairman of the MTR, which runs the metro here and also in a number of other countries, said he gets any problems that happen in the metro from Twitter before he ever gets it from his own company, and as does every other person who's looking at Twitter. So that's a complete shift for boards.
Welcome to Boardroom and Beyond podcast, a show dedicated to exploring corporate governance best practice. I'm Lyndsey. I'm passionate about learning and sharing the culture, historical, legal, and economic influences on corporate governance in different countries and helping companies overcome growing obstacles in a global business world. This podcast is a learning journey taking us to different parts of the world to discover profound and eye-opening differences in corporate governance, understand those differences, and learn how to unlock the mystery of doing business whenever we go. I hope you will enjoy the journey with me. In this episode, I am delighted to talk with Diana Wu David, the author of best-selling book Future Proof: Reinventing Work in the Age of Acceleration. Diana is the founder of Future Proof Labs, former executive of Financial Times non-executive director program in Asia. She has been working with the Asian corporate board members and CEOs for many years. In this episode, Diana will review with us changes happening in global corporate boards due to corporate purpose shifting and other changes in the world. She will explain the necessity of expectation adjustment as an individual. Diana will also share her opinion regarding how individuals can better prepare ourselves for future in the changing world. Hello, Diana. Welcome to Boardroom and Beyond podcast.
Thanks so much, Lyndsey.
I'm so excited for today's conversation.
Me too.
I remember when we first talked earlier of the year, it was interesting. We both find out we have such a similar life and career track, but on totally opposite direction. I grew up in China, moved to States 20-some years ago. And you grew up in US, moved to Asia about 20-some years ago as well. But more interesting is you shared with me back then your new book, Future Proof. And it was such a heart-touching and inspiring book. I always feel I want to come back to talk with you about the future. I think you are a future expert with all the uncertainty happened in 2020. I think we have a lot of curiosity and anxious to find out what the future look like. So I'm very anxious to learn from you. What is your perspective about the future for the organization, for the board, for corporate governance, and also for individuals? To get started, if you don't mind, I like to jump into an interesting topic right away, corporate purpose.
That's a big one. I have to say on Monday of this week, just a few days ago, I did a presentation on the evolution of governance. And as you know, from reading my governance article about, my predictions for 2020, I think that the evolution of governance, corporate governance, to more of a stakeholder model is something that I researched. And I guess you could call that the purpose of the organization. There was much debate when I talked to the Future Work Forum as to whether or not purpose is cyclical, something that comes and goes, or if it's a sort of more systemic shift that we're witnessing. And I think that purpose is certainly popular. The Financial Times itself ran a sort of text analysis of the CEOs using purpose in their language and found that it had exploded last year. And with COVID, I think it'll go even further, shifting into the limelight.
To listen to the rest of this episode, please check our website in the description section below this video. And please subscribe Boardroom and Beyond YouTube channel so you will not miss any future episodes. Thank you for listening.